Welcome back to the Spegroon Documentary Series. In this episode, we will be touring the city of Clow and interviewing all of its residents as to why they play on the server. Before we even start to tour the town, though, it'd be best that we interview the town's mayor, ComradeTitus, better known as Aaron. Alright, so normally we do the interview at the person's house, but seeing as you're sort of homeless right now.
It's under construction because I'm too busy building up this wonderful city.
I see. Well, where should we conduct the interview then?
Probably the most famous landmark in all of Clow, the hole.
Alright, let's head down there then. Alright, so my first question is, what all have you achieved on Spegroon?
Well, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I like to say I've achieved quite a bit. I mean, one of the greatest achievements we're standing in, the hole, which I have to say was, I got help from Jeremy. But, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. It was a team effort, though. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is going to be before or after you go to the Great Farm, but the Great Farm's pretty big, and I think it's pretty great. The wall, that's pretty big, and it's not quite finished, but I think it's going to look really cool when it's done. My house, it's always changing, and I'm never happy with it, so it probably will never be achieved.
If it's not being burned down, either.
That's true. I mean, I've probably built the most houses on this server, but none of them have lasted. Let's see. I did bring back villagers to this city, only for them to get killed again. I think I've won a few wars. I burned down the Great Oak.
Do you count terrorism as an accomplishment?
I mean, yeah.
I think I'd count that for me too.
I mean, say what you will. 9/11. Let's see. The Delvin statue. I don't know. The Delvin statue was pretty easy to make. That's not a big thing. I don't know.
Well, have you accomplished anything aside from building? Also.
I was the first in flight. Not elytra flight, mechanical flight.
Oh, yes, that is true.
Only to try and utilize that flight in the end and promptly kill Daniel of Salonia by a freak accident.
Alright, that's a good answer. What's your first memory of Spegroon?
Logging on, running through the darkness of the night to Clow, or what would soon be called Clow, to find where you guys were, and building a diving board. And that diving board is now what became of Riley's ship.
Yeah, that ship right up there.
So I own a little bit of stock in Riley's ship, I like to think.
I think he's removed the original bits.
Yeah, but it's like the ship of Theseus, you know?
What's your favorite moment or plot line on the server?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Can I give two answers?
Yes.
So season 1, after Jeremy burned down my house, I think the second time, and then this was when you were mayor, and Jeremy refused to, like, do the points system to get back in good standing with the community. He essentially, in Spegroon history, the first rebellion being my portal rebellion. And so then we all geared up, we all had shields, and we were getting ready to go, like, hunt him down and fight him.
Mm-hmm.
But then we see in the chat that he died because he fell in lava. So it was both a really cool moment and a really funny moment.
And what's the other one you mentioned?
I was hoping I would think of one before I finished that story, but give me a second. I'd probably have to say maybe either the Prismatic Sun saga from season 1 or the Great Oak Wars.
Okay. Who do you see yourself as on the server?
Um, hmm. I definitely see myself as it's definitely changed. So
Mm-hmm.
can I give you like a kind of a list on how
Yeah,
it's
like
changed?
a quick timeline.
Yeah. So originally I saw myself as kind of a rebel, you know? Like I had that first rebellion, um, and then I plotted to, the the New Year's Day bombings.
Oh yeah.
Um, and then I became the caretaker of Clow, and I kind of saw myself as just this old, wizened caretaker of a dying city. But then I kind of got more into redstone engineering, and I started making plans for the Wither reactor.
Mm-hmm. So you're sort of like Elon Musk
Yeah,
in that regard.
and then I realized I hated that, and and now so I'm moving past that, and I'm kind of just this Cincinnatus like figure ruling Clow, making sure it has proper institutions so I can finally retire to a nice farm. So right now I'm just the stressed politician that just wants to retire.
You just want to grill, for God's sake?
I just want to grill, for God's sake.
Alright, one last question. What do you see the future of Spegroon like?
Um, well, I see the future of Spegroon hopefully more peaceful. Hopefully more in depth with not in depth but more interconnected. As you know, in Clow, I'm working on creating an actual economy, creating an actual store with actual currency and a mint, and
Yeah.
also, so I think that will help bring people together. And I think the it's unfortunately not going to be up to me because I plan on retiring. So hopefully, all the enemies I've made will leave Clow alone and let new leadership continue to steer the ship of state towards peace.
What do you mean by retiring?
I plan on retire after I get all my projects done in the city.
Oh, but
As
you'll
in,
move on.
yeah. I mean, I'll still play on the server. I mean, I'm just gonna move somewhere else and like live on my own little farm.
Oh, I see. So any final statements?
Um, anyone who wants to attack this great city, look what happened to the Great Oak.
Damn, okay.
Thank you for having me. Um, all right, bye.
And so here we are, in the great city of Clow. Right here, we stand at the center of town, which many, many times we have met up to discuss things or just hang around. Wow, what a sight to see. Currently, as you may have seen as we were falling, we are inside the inner walls. There's two layers, the inner and then the outer. And I'll start off by showing you this fountain. I originally built this fountain a while ago, and then I added onto it, made it kind of look dumber. But let's head on to my original home, inside the city. This was originally my home, but it's now been turned into a cafe of sorts. Call it the Cafe Ava Blanc. There used to be boats all along here so people could actually take a seat, but nowadays people would just slide them down there and then just take them around town. So you can't really do that anymore. Down here was the kitchen area, lots of furnaces and supplies. And in here's the only enchanting room in all of Clow. Yes, yes. I built this like 2 years ago, and everyone's too damn lazy to build their own. So now we just have this, and this is the one that everyone uses. Anyway, this has access to my mob farm area, which really isn't much to show. But as we head down, we head into the tunnel area. Originally, I don't even know why I started digging out the tunnels, but eventually I found a good spot to settle. There was a sort of cave down in here. This leads just to another mob farm. And this leads to my home city, Electro. Has a long rail all the way out there. Let me show you on the map. It spans all the way from here, and then I think it takes a right here, and then ends up in Electro. So it's quite a ways off. And if we head down into here, we can see my old bunker fort. I still keep it well stocked in all the chests. Just keeping some emergency supplies in here if I ever need to do any building within Clow. I built this after the cafe. I think right after the Prismatic Saga, although I'm not sure if it was just before. Through here is actually my own personal nether area that doesn't lead in from the portal up there. Speaking of that portal, let's head on up. Just a hangout area. There's a soda machine, but it's out of soda. I know, depressing times for everyone. And I got a little dance floor here. I don't really know why I built it, but it looks nice. And as we head up, here is Aaron's old home, / the community netherwart farm. It's had a redesign for a couple reasons. But if we head down, we can see there's a second section over here, and I don't know why, but I really like the glass overlook right here. And a little thing. Yeah, I really don't know what that is. But yeah, this used to be Aaron's home. It actually used to go right up against the portal. But then I decided to cut the city in half. So, this is the Clow Giga Drive. This took quite a while to build, because I literally just had to cut the entirety of this in half, all hand dug out, and this leads back into the bunker. Originally, I actually built it just as an easy way in and out, because it'd take a long time coming up from the tunnels or up through the netherwart farm. But, if we head out to the other side, we actually get to a very important location in Clow. See, a long while ago, this was not covered up. Nobody even really checked the backside of this hill. And that's where we got Riley leaks. What is this? Well, we make fun of Riley. And it's kind of awesome. I put down that I like Riley's ship somewhere on here. Just to, you know, put something nice on it. But, you know, what really matters is down below. See, we built that to make fun of Riley. But now, if we head down further, hidden behind the crafting table area, we see Aaron leaks, where we make fun of Aaron. And I showed Riley this after he found out about Riley leaks. And behind there, well, I won't tell you what's behind there. You'll have to figure it out for yourselves. Anyways, if we head up on out of here, yeah, this area used to not be covered. And I'll tell you real quick that over there leads to Carrick Rum, Zach's settlement, and that's a famous bridge in the area, I guess you could say. Speaking of famous things, as we head up here, we see Jared's famed farm, which used to host many an animal. But now it's mostly just a repository for Nathaniel's llamas and a couple other animals that have just been left over. He actually used to have some sort of sorting system between them, but now it's just a manual walkthrough system. And up there, we have the modern museum, which used to be Jared's house and was the second building built in the area. As we head up, we can see his old farm, which actually had some contention, as Aaron didn't like the fact that it was a wheat farm in Clow, as he wanted to sort of have a monopoly on those, but it stood the test of time and hasn't been taken down since. Here we see the Clow National History Museum, which is more of international history, if you're talking to me. But it's not like that really matters. In here we see an early Clow exhibit. We see the patent for bread, which is what I was just talking about with the wheat field. And Aaron's secret bed used during the portal conflict, which was when he wanted to destroy the portal out there, as you may know. I didn't know where he'd come from. He'd just keep appearing somewhere in the city. It made a lot of us confused. And here's the desert exhibit. Just some stuff found from the desert. Oh, sorry, my game froze just there. But the desert is all the way out here. This is where most of the world's sand comes from, actually. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's too far away, but it's a decent travel once you start walking on the path. Of course, if you have an elytra, it's like a couple minutes, but... And here's modern Clow exhibit. This, we'll get to that. And over here we have where the Nether Star used to be. But I just guess it's missing now. And here's the exhibit where the egg also used to sit, which is also gone. I think Aaron hid it because I was trying to take it, because I thought it looked cool. But now it's his. Meat from one of the chickens in Oakmont, and a banner from Oakmont, and then a piece of the Great Oak. In here's a area dedicated to the Prismatic Sun. Book listing my charges. Yeah, I ain't no for do no war crimes. And then this window actually was historically broken, as they broke it and ran out once they got back into the city. Anyway, enough of the museum. None of that stuff is really interesting. We're climbing up Ammonite Hill, which is named after Jared, because his name's Ammonin Table. And we can get a pretty good view of the inner walls, as well as some outlying features. As I mentioned before, there's Karakorum back there. And over there is Jeremy's Society, Reaver's Vale, and an old mountain that used to actually be connected to Oakmont. I'll be sure I'll get to that in some later episode. As we head down here, we see... Some would call it a tragic misstep in Clow's history, but I would define it as, you know, a moment of unity. See, the villagers over there in Reaver's Vale needed a home where they'd be safe, you know? So that's what me and Jeremy built them. We built some rails, brought them in, and then ta-da! You have a perfectly safe home. Let's head on in. So up there was a guard tower. You'd have an iron golem up there, because, you know, you wouldn't want the villagers to be hurting anyway. Here's the library, so, you know, plenty of entertainment for them. Of course, you gotta get some fresh water around here. Here's like a little slide for them to go down. You know, that could be fun. Here's some houses. You know, you want to make sure you have enough houses for everyone, so don't want to build them too big. And, yeah, it's basically just a place for the villagers to hang out. Although, most of them are gone now. Don't really know what could have happened to them. But anyway, enough of that. We now head over to the Deadass Tree, which is what So Nathaniel built this. It actually looks really cool. I just don't know why he called it the dead-ass tree. I'm sure he could have given it a cooler name than that, but that's where it stands. And here's an entrance down into his hermit holes, which I will not be getting into right now. I don't think I'll ever be getting into that. There's just so many. It's like a maze. Now that we've seen some of the workings of the Hermit Man, let's go ahead and interview him to see what he thinks of the server. So wait, who's gonna be on the couch and who's gonna be on the...
Well, I'm the one being interviewed, right?
That is true. So, let me ask you this. What all have you accomplished on Spegroon?
Well, I've built my my multi-layered farming area over here. I have collected, as far as I know, 16 llamas, each with a different color of wool. That, like for their saddle thing.
Yeah.
Started building my my lovely mega tree. Built a statue of the straw man. Built multiple scarecrows just scattered about near people's things, which was funny. Let's see. I started renovations on Reaverville, I think it's called.
Yeah, the village over there?
Yeah, I started like fixing up holes and walls, and I was eventually, if villagers ever came back, I was going to repopulate.
Anything else you've done?
I used to have a villager breeder.
Yeah, until multiple accidents. So let me ask you, what's your favorite... Oh, you first.
I think I got 2 of those lens things. Maybe?
Oh yeah, the prismatic lenses.
I think I have 2 of those. For some reason, I just started making like small hidden compartments around my base. There's like 3 or 4, not including this one.
That's scary.
I started making multiple tunnels just so I could not go above the surface. One of which joins up to that really long ass bridge that's somewhere. It might be over that way. It just like was underneath it.
Oh, okay.
It looks like it's part of the bridge. It's pretty funny.
So, what's your first memory of Spegroon?
First memory. The short journey getting to Clow away from spawn.
Yeah.
I think Lord Bug gave me my first like pity items, like have some armor and wood. It might have been someone else. And then I just decided, yeah. And then like once I got to Clow, someone told me just like, yeah, just start building stuff because there's room. And then I just decided, like, I think it'd be pretty funny if no one knew where my house was, and I just built a home underneath the wall.
So, what's your favorite moment or plot line on the server so far?
For a personal plot line, I suppose, just my temporary insanity regarding the straw man.
Yeah.
Where I would quite literally religiously collect wheat and just build this massive statue.
You have 2 of them now, don't you?
No, I don't. No, I have a woodman.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And, oh, I have a cult room, too. That's unrelated. But, for multiple people, that's a new one. For multiple people, I guess when the server updated and the raids started, and because of my villager breeder, they would always spawn inside Clow.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that was terrifying.
So...
And then we would get the bad omen, and then we'd walk near the villager breeder.
Who do you see yourself as on the server? Like, what kind of character?
Our hermit. some homeless dude that tries not to anger people.
Yeah, I mean, that's been your whole thing the whole time.
Yeah.
Why do you play on Spegroon?
Just because I don't normally have to deal with the sort of dullness of like mobs, I guess, like monsters, just like always being like attacked over and over and over again. Because it's just like there's so much light everywhere, and it's all nice. And I want to play on peaceful because that's bitch work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, final question. What do you see the future of Spegroon like? Any upcoming events or anything like that?
Upcoming events. Bees. Yes.
Any
bees.
final words?
Want to see the, I don't know, just want a tour of my place. Okay. This way, probably. Okay, no, it's not this way. It's the other way.
Oh, okay.
Okay, next decision. That one leads to the water thing. I think it's this way. Fuck. No. Wait. Yes, this way. We're on the side of a mountain now. So many tunnels.
I didn't even know about this wing yet.
Yeah. It's, what the fuck is this? Oh, yeah, this is underneath the bridge now. Yeah.
What?
This is the bridge.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh my... But wait, the bridge empties out here, right?
It goes down.
What do you mean? It ends here, right?
Well, like my tunnel does, but I was planning on continuing it.
Oh, okay.
Cause like I started planting trees like over there so like I wouldn't cloud Clow.
Holy crap! I've never noticed this. Oh, here's a historical site. So right here is Riley's old house, which, as I may have mentioned previously, we just entirely covered in dirt. I think someone burned it after we buried it, which is a little bit confusing. Here's one of Riley's horses, Shadowfax. He had another, but then Aaron killed him in the desert. And here's Aaron's bed where he sleeps. He walks all the way up from the hole over there to come up to here and sleep. Up here is Riley's real home, though, which I guess we can just fly up to. There's a ladder, but that'd take a while. I gotta say, he's done a really good job building this pirate ship. It looks really nice from pretty much all angles. I especially like the head up there. In here, you can kind of see Riley's personality from this. He likes adventuring, that sort of stuff. You know, keeps sets of armor around. Real explorer, sort of like Christopher Columbus. Anyway, sort of a historic jump. I don't exactly know what this banner here is, by the way. If you know what it is, please leave it in the comments. Although I'm making a Minecraft documentary about my server. I don't imagine, like, if you don't play on the server, you probably don't know what this is. But if you're one of my friends and you do know, please let me know. Anyway, this is a historic drop, as a lot of people like jumping off Riley's ship, mainly because they don't want to be up there with him. As I mentioned before, Netherward Farm and the portal, back in the center of town where people would meet. Here's a coral reef I recently installed after going on an adventure for some. I think it looks pretty nice, and just a nice little touch to the city. The waterfall actually used to come down, like, right around here, but I swept it over to the side, and I think it looks a lot nicer like that. Over here we have the old job board. This thing has been burned down many, many times, and now, well, there's not as many notices on it. I think it's going to improve over time, unless Clow, the city itself, is dying, which, hey, that's a debate. Oh, here's Coolio, one of our town mascots. You see, originally we had a skeleton in here. He wore all gold armor, and his name was Delvin. That's a statue of him up there. Aaron calls it Delvin Invictus, or Delvin the Unconquerable. And then after him, Delvin eventually died because someone brought him over to the courthouse. And why is my game acting up like this? But yeah, Delvin eventually died after some idiot brought him to the courthouse, and then I think he suffocated to death. But then we got a new skeleton named Pilroy, and he wore all pink armor. And then he eventually passed away. I don't think anyone ever fessed up to killing him. And now we have Coolio, who wears an Ender Dragon head. It's almost like a pope, you know? You just gotta elect one every couple years. As we head to here, we head to another one of the oldest homes in the city, Blake's home. He set this up almost right after we set up our homes there. Inside, you can see it's been burned, because Jeremy actually lit it on fire and caused Blake to go on a huge exploration spree around the world. He set up bases almost everywhere I can think of. But yeah, just a small little home. We can head up the stairs here, which I think is a very nice touch, by the way. We can see his waterfall, and he had a couple farms over there. And now we head over to Jeremy's house, or his former home, of course. It's currently being turned into a pub by Aaron, the Bread and Diamond Pub. I think it has a very nice aesthetic, although I'm not sure it's quite pubby enough. You know, it's sort of basic. I think you could do something with this balcony out here, but I'm not quite sure what. Although I do gotta admit, it's a very nice view of the city. And we're also going to head up to the roof, because I know not only I, but a couple other players just like to walk up on the roof. It's a very good spot to sneak around in the city if you want to have a good view of everything too. Anyway, we're going to head over there now to the new courthouse. This courthouse was built after the old courthouse blew up, and we've settled a couple cases in here, I think, although we've mainly settled it in the old one, which I'll get to right after this. New courthouse, I really like the architecture. It was built by Lord Bug, and then after it blew up, me and Jeremy helped rebuild it. Here's some prophecies from the gods, or whatever. I'm not really into that stuff myself. Here's a lectern. I think this might be hooked up to some sort of redstone. No, it physically cannot be. That'd be a cool trick, though. Like if you put a holy book in here, it'd open up to something. Just an idea. Anyway, we'll head out now. I'll get to the giant-ass tree in the center of town in a little bit, okay? Right here, though, is the old courthouse. Many, many cases have been settled in here. You have the banner of Electro and the banner of Clow. Good lord. This thing has been blown up at least 3 times also. Good times, good times. And we head out into the islands here, and this is actually man-made. I built all of the waterways around here. Originally, I think there was like a small pond, like maybe this area, but I eventually just dug out the entirety of it, and I think it looks a lot nicer. Originally, I had it set up as a racetrack around here, but it eventually got torn down and moved around, just like the center of a real city would be. And we head over to Aaron's camp here, because he refuses to live inside a home. He's had 2 years to build a home and still has not. So, everything is just out in the open. You know, I guess it's just his lifestyle. Over here, we can see his sandstone home that he started building, but then he decided on red sandstone, so now he has to go and find and gather that. Yeah, and it's not all the way lit up either. Like, parts of it have blown up, because he hasn't bothered to light it up, like, right in through here. Up here, there actually used to be a wheat farm, but it's since been replaced by this, and wheat farm has been moved. I'll show you that, but first, let's jump in the pit. Aw, yeah. So this is the hole, the famous, the legendary hole. It's taken a lot of effort between a lot of different people, myself excluded. If we head down here, we can go into second layer of the hole. Sort of a edgy basement area. Then we head down here and we get to the real edgy basement area. This is where we tried to tame a wither and make it work for us to gather cobblestone. But that didn't really work. Oh, sorry, spider. So we ended up having to kill him, and he shot everywhere and caused lava to fall down on us, naturally. Over here, there was also an area, I believe, where if you set like a key card or something into this dropper, it opened up yeah, into here. And back in here was actually where the collection of prismatic lenses was. It was like a secret area. But that's gone now. They've been relocated. I don't quite know why. It's almost like trying to hide it from me or something, but I don't really mind, you know. Not my sort of thing. I've never encountered any myself. Anyway, let's see if we can get out of here. Alright, minimal fall damage. I like it. And we're gonna head up. Not much is actually on many of the floors of the hole. Mostly barren, except for the food court, which is right up in here. So originally there was two different stores. There was mine, Chunky Chickens, and Jeremy's, I believe, fish stall? Oh, it's just a Long John Silver's, yeah. But eventually the hole was burned, and we didn't have any insurance, so we just haven't rebuilt it, because Aaron is not a good host. Here's Aaron's meet and greet, which was built later on. Which has some very interesting stuff. And over here was our mascot, Leonard Bearstein, before his untimely death. May he forever rest in peace. Head up here, another empty layer, and then another empty layer above it. I'd sure like to see this area populated, you know? Sort of like the Giga Drive I cut through Clow over there. Would be very interesting areas to see stuff built in. Anyway, we're gonna head over here now to see one of the other greatest tragedies of the city, which always have to do with villagers. So 2 generations of villagers have died for different causes. First was raids from pillagers, because they would be able to actually sneak over the fences. And the second, I believe, was just negligence, because someone left one of the doors open and then mobs could just get in and attack them. But yeah, this place used to be popping with villagers. Like, there'd be plenty of them to go around. But Clow's actually all out of villagers again. For the 3rd time, if we include the focus group over there. Over here we can see a board advertising Salonia, with their flag clearly built above the city, inviting new people to come populate their lands from Clow, which is an interesting offer. Even more interesting is why Aaron hasn't taken it down. Maybe he has some sort of conjuncture with them. Anyway, here's an old barracks Aaron built that got blowed up and burned, and then slightly rebuilt by me. Not much to say, it's pretty barren, but I do like the outside gate of it. And over here is just an old railway terminal that I built a long time ago, but it's now been defunct after Lord Bug's rail system. And then Lord Bug's rail system got taken down, so we actually don't have a rail system anymore. I mean, I can fly, so it's not really a problem for me. Mainly a problem for the other residents. And now we head to our first stuff in the Outer Wall. Outer Wall isn't as populated. We have the Great Straw Man, built by Nathaniel, local hermit. We have a potato farm I believe he also built. And here's where the statue of Lord Bug once stood proudly, but has since been taken down after a penis got built on it. Over there is another ad for Salonia. And over there is another sort of barracks Aaron's working on. I gotta say, I really do like the design of the Outer Wall. If only he could, actually finish it, so it's not just a giant slab of cobblestone. That'd be great. And next we'll be hearing from one of the residents of the outside of Clow, Nathan, the guy who built the penises.
This is a very important interview. Hey, don't call me a hoe. I said I have an interview for Minecraft. My friend Dewey is interviewing me about the history of our server we played on in my penis. Yeah. Alright, I'll call you back later.
We'll keep doing bad stuff.
Can you see
Alright.
my head?
No, I can't.
I'm just a floating head in front of your face.
Alright, welcome back. Oh wait, I put you in Venture. I meant to put you in Survival. Hold on.
Wait, what's adventure mode?
You can't break blocks. Alright, so let's begin the interview with this first question. What all have you accomplished on Spegroon?
My penis. I built a really cool dick, and I built the first dick right over here, and it was beautiful. And then that got burnt down because the little asshole hermit dude that lived under that stupid thing didn't like looking at it every time he woke up through his little hermit window. So then there was a Lord Bug statue over here, and then we made it a compromise that I could build it as an extension of the bug statue's penis. There was a white dick on a black man, which was interesting. And then I had a pee hole coming out, which was the water elevator to get to the urethra, which was my home.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
What else have you accomplished?
I did this mass stealing thing. It was pretty funny, actually. So, way over yonder where those trees were, I built a secret underground base where I hid in everyone's stolen goods. And I remember the night before I got caught, I was in the Discord with you and someone else was arguing about stealing some new crafting stuff. And then I was just sitting there casually listening to you blame that kid for stealing it.
Yeah, the thing that happened was Aaron had just gifted him a full set of the new crafting tables, and you had just stolen all of my new crafting tables. So I thought that he had stolen all of them.
Yeah, and then it was pretty cool. And then you punished me.
Yeah. So what's your first memory on Spegroon?
My first memory, trying to find a place of evil plotting. I tried a snowy mountain, I didn't like it. I tried a dick, didn't work too well. Yeah, I think my first big memory that I'm not going to forget is the dick house. And the trial that came with it, for people burning it down.
So what was your favorite moment or plot line on the server?
I kind of like the tree terrace, that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, when he'd come in and plant all the trees.
Yeah, that honestly kind of was funny. And I'm not going to lie, I did some of it too, just because I know he would be blamed.
Who do you see yourself as on the server? Like, what type of character are you?
Chaotic neutral.
That seems like a good answer for you. Why do you play on Spegroon? What's the appeal?
I mean, I really like hanging out with you guys. Good memories. I just enjoy being with my friends.
That's honestly my answer too, and I haven't seen many other people mention that.
What do other people say?
They mainly mention like the plot.
Really?
Yeah, or like the stability of the server.
I just like hanging out with you guys. It's a lot of fun.
That's what I think too. So, what do you see the future of Spegroon like, or at least your future in it?
This is off the record of court systems?
I mean, this is going to be a publicly released interview.
Out there, and I don't have a future.
No, you can just say you can just say that things are allegedly that way. That way you can't. That won't hold up in court if you say it's alleged.
All right. Things are allegedly going to be fun. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. Well, hopefully you won't get another soft ban again, but
I won't.
You better
I'm not going to do anything. It's all allegedly.
Do you have any final words to the good people out there?
Listen, guys. Minecraft brings people together. It brings friends together. It's a good way to just hang out and have fun and make memories. So play Minecraft.
All right. That concludes the interview.
Sweet.
But let's head on down to the Hermit's Hole. I won't show you everything in here, because, like I said, he has a giant mass of mazes and just tunnels everywhere. Down here we head into a nice little garden. I can appreciate the aesthetic, especially with the vines. If he'd wrap it around, that'd be even better. You got all sorts of stuff down here, you know. It's not just one type of farm. You even got a big wheat farm, which sort of intimidates Aaron, I believe. And we even got a seaweed farm for... Yeah, I don't really know why he has that. And a big mushroom farm, because, I mean, why not? Anyway, up in here we have the Hermit Tunnels, which, as I will say a third time, just to enunciate the point, I do not want to go walking around down in here. If we climb up here, though, we start to get into the World's Tree I showed you all earlier. That's actually the level with the ground. Unfortunately, it again got burned and blew up. But if we look out here, you can see out into the city, and I like the inside of it. It actually has a very nice interior, like, just design to it. But I don't really like how it looks from the outside. Because if we come on outside real quick, we can see that it's just a giant shaft with cobblestone at the bottom. If he added, like, leaves or something, it'd be interesting. Or if, like, the tree had some sort of sway to it. But right now it just looks like a giant tube, much like the walls. Anyway, we're gonna head over to maybe one of the most important parts in recent times of Clow, the beacon. This is set up by me, right next to the Ava Blanc. It actually has a special function that I'll try and show you. It can, actually, produce rainbow. All you have to do, I believe, is jump start it back here. I don't have a redstone torch, so I'll just have to be crafty with this. Oh yeah, there we go. So now, it should be, yeah, pulsing all sorts of different colors. Oh. Internal lag, it seems. Normally it's not struggling this hard. And normally there's constantly at least one type of color on it. But yeah, I think it looks very interesting, and it looks better when you have some sort of tinting prism on the outside. Cursed. Do not read. Anyway. We head up here to Delvin. The great statue. I just wanted to give you a closer look just to show it's actually made of bone. That's just a really nice attention to detail, and we're up on Delvine Hill, actually. Over there is just a random build we decided to do one day with just random materials. It turned out better than expected. Down here is a old little cabin built by the residents of Salonia before they left out. And we're actually coming close to the end of the tour of Clow. There's not much more to show around the city. Over here is my old farm. If we head down here, we can see the granary that Aaron has been working on building. You might say, granary? Okay, well, where's the wheat? And to that I say, we're working on it. Right now, you know, he's flattened out this whole area. The wall used to be like this tall around here, although he's flattening it to wall height, which I don't really understand, but... because he could go like one below and make it actually blend in. But yeah, you head out here, and you think, okay, he's flattened it out, now he has to build the farm. That's where you'd be wrong. He's flattened it out, and he has built the farm. Yes, this is a massive underground wheat farm. Let me see if I can hop up a block. Built entirely by Aaron. Miles and miles of wheat, not even for display. One of the craziest things that's ever happened here. I don't have much to comment on it, because, I mean, it is just a giant-ass wheat field. But Aaron plans to build a giant forum above. Not like an internet forum, but like a meeting place for everyone. So this should turn out pretty interesting, I say. In the next episode, we'll be touring Carrick Room, Fort Connington, and Reaversvale. I'll see you then.